My name is Alice Hanoff and welcome back to my book channel. Today we're going to be talking about the book Updraft from Fran Wilde. Now, as you can see, I gave this book a 4-star. If you haven't heard of it before, it is a fantasy novel that I would say is kind of mixed with a sci-fi or steampunk-esque type story. So how it works is the story is about a young girl named Kirit, and she is old enough in her world that she's eligible to take her wing test. Now, the really unique world building in this book is the fact that instead of living in houses or things, the people of this world are living in bone towers that grow up from the ground, and we don't get the full story, but the background seems to be there was some sort of war on the ground and people ended up living up in the skies now in these bone towers that are connected by bridges in some cases, and in other cases the only way to get around is to fly. So that's where the steampunk-esque feeling comes to me. As you can see here, they fly on these mechanical type wings that take people around in different areas, and when you reach a certain age you can try for your wing license. And so at the beginning of the book, our main character Kirit is going for this test to get her wing license, and because that would she's a very exceptional flyer and she's really good and everyone knows she's going to do great on this test, and so because that would simply be too easy, there's a whole bunch of nonsense and things thrown in the way. She ends up breaking a law unintentionally, and in their world breaking a law is very serious. It means that she is severely punished and loses out on the last couple of days of training for this particular wing test, and she's at a real disadvantage because of that. As well, her mother is a trader, as in she trades, not a traitor. So she is currently away on a trading mission, and so she's not there to help her daughter out or give her any kind of advice before the wing test. And so it's up to her and her best friend Nat, who goes off on this big adventure with her and is also old enough for the wing test as well at this time. So I gave the book a 4 out of 5 stars. The reason I did that is the world building is incredibly unique. Honestly, I've never come across a fantasy book with this sort of world building in it, which really intrigued me, and honestly it's rare that I get this surprised. I did predict some of the ending parts of the book, which when you follow this channel for a while you'll find out is actually very common for me. I took criticism in university and studied structure and things in books, so I tend to see where things are coming from and where things are going significantly earlier than I wish I did, but that's okay. So while I wasn't overly surprised at how things played out in this book, I really loved the world building. It was so different. I've never read a book where people live in bone structures that actually grow up into the sky, and I just thought that was absolutely fascinating. So kudos Fran on a really fantastic world building, because that is unique and just amazing to have gotten to experience. It is the first book in a trilogy. I liked it so much that I ordered book 2 and 3. So they are currently on their way here, and at some point I will read them, and at some point you will get both reviews on number 2 and 3. From what I've read online, book 2 will be from Nat's perspective or point of view, and then this one, the third one, should be back with Kirit's point of view, which is kind of fun. So if you're looking for a fantasy book that is smut-free, this book has no smut, there's no romance, there's no dirty bits or anything like that. So if you're looking for a very YA-friendly fantasy read that is very different and unique, check out Updraft by Fran Wilde, because I gave it 4 out of 5 stars and I thought it was great. Have a nice day.